Welcome to another live conversation on ALLATRA TV. Today we have a very special guest with us, but before I introduce him, my name is Olga and my co-host name is Olga as well. And welcome everybody to the program. And today we actually traveling all the way to Pakistan. And why are we traveling there is because we want to talk to people around the globe about the project Creative Society. So Creative Society was born on the platform of ALLATRA International Public Movement because we had a conference last year. And in that conference, we came to the conclusion that all the problems in the world we have are because of the consumer way of living. So how do we change that? How do we change our society from consumer type of society to creative type of society, to the society that we can go to in a peaceful ways, and that we can all achieve happiness and we can all live comfortably, and that everybody around the globe can enjoy their daily life? How do we do that? So our goal is to ask every single person on planet Earth, how do they envision that creative society that we all can share and live in? So today, our special guest, again, all the way from Pakistan, and his name is Fawad Ali Langah, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his interesting background. And he's been volunteering for many organizations for about 10 years now. So welcome, Fawad.
Yeah, good morning, Olga Esquire, if I could say that once again. Good morning, everyone, and good morning to all our viewers. Thank you very much for inviting and giving a platform to share my experiences, of course, what I think about this great initiative, which I personally believe it's something really change maker. And if someone is actually thinking about changing the society into a one world, into a one thinking that the entire world is actually one mankind society. So it's something really great. So everyone, this is Fawad Ali Langah. I am, of course, as I said, all the way from Pakistan. It's a great to be over here. About my career, as mentioned, of course, like I've been doing volunteering more than about a decade in different organizations, different platforms, different forums, conferences, just to actually to share my expertise, to share my learning experiences, what I've earned so far. If I just go back, like what I actually want to be and why I'm here, what I am doing into that. I mean, if I just talk about my secondary side that I used to, I saw a dream that I want to be the pilot. I want to serve the Air Force and applied for that and pretty much crossed all those tests and everything, but unfortunately couldn't manage to the final one, and a little bit disheartened into that. And I said, I think that's the end of the world. I can't do that. I have to push myself. But then my dad had actually said to me that don't worry about it. We should have some options in our life that if we could have not be able to achieve certain tasks, we should switch ourselves to another thing. This thing actually not really put yourself much stress or could help you to achieve your target. Then I've changed myself. Okay, because at that time it was like bit boom of IT technology. It was like earlier of 2000 or something like that I've jumped into to be the IT and get involved into the engineering side. Just keep testing myself, like where I can actually fix my my foot into a proper appropriate shoes where I can actually pursue my career. So then I'll jump into some sort of engineering side, manage to do so and somehow achieve into that, and then turn myself into the information technology. But apparently after after having about 2 semesters, or let's say about completion of 1 year, I found like I think I'm not a person who actually born to be the IT literate or could be like IT person. It's just like another maze, another confusion because I was not particular like pretty much satisfied with that field. But during that time, actually, I've been introduced with this model United Nations field, which I'm actually the consultant and the trainer across the globe, been serving this platform for more than a decade now. So that time I realized I think there is something for me in this field which I could somehow pursue or could somehow change my field into that. But since I've already ended like more than 2 years, because I will keep carrying all my activities at the same time and also pursuing my IT degree, just pushing myself, not much interest, just putting into that just to finish and get the graduation and get it done. Then I just found myself, okay, it's better to keep carry on with the things and all those circumstances and keep focusing on both sides of the side, because I don't want to just to drop my studies in between and just carry on with my passion. So I took my studies as well as my passion together. It took me a bit of time extra on my degree, but I managed to do that. And then that's what plenty of achievements have came across to me. I mean, I was only Pakistani students in 2012 being invited by the United Nations New York headquarters to attend their first annual Model UN workshop. So only Pakistani student. And then I've been appointed as a trainer in Geneva International Model UN, where I trained OIC delegates or Organization for Islamic Cooperation, and then to went to the Ministry Affairs of in Italy, have given the session about the model. So things really change into that. And then I've said, okay, now it's time to change my field from IT to international relations. Then I flew, I mean, in 2013, after completion of my education, I mean, the undergraduate actually in BS Telecommunication from Karachi, Pakistan, PF Keat, my undergraduate university. So then I flew to London and I pursued my degree in international relations, the passion degree actually, which I feel myself like I think I am much happy with the negotiations, with the politics, with the diplomacy. And then I carry out my old things and then a couple of more certification in global diplomacy from University of London and public policy economics from University of Oxford as well. So this is how actually I have made my things and circumstances. And then it really helps me to turn myself into the motivational speaker, into the counselor as well, an educational counselor that really helps. And especially these days, youth really need that, to having a proper counseling, like what they actually want to do, what their vision, their objective, their paradigms, their goals, how they can actually achieve their thing. And then it really turned up to me to be the motivational speaker. And of course, as I said about my passion about Model United Nations or Single Nation, it was keep going on, plenty of achievements, respect and honor across the globe, and keep going on. And now I'm somehow putting myself, because I found this Model UN platform, this Model UN actually also focusing on the goal of SDGs, which is SDG 4 particularly. It is called about the quality, promoting quality education, and Model United Nations field is actually teaches you about the quality education and also plenty of the skills. Then I put myself and get more educated into that. So this is how actually I have put myself, give the preference, give the priority to my passion, and change my passion to my profession.
Okay, thank you so much, Fawad. It was nice to hear your story. And I know that our designers prepared the collages, and I would like to show them. So there he is. So if you have any comments on them and you can explain us what's on the pictures, you feel free.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much really, you can say a great memories, I would say that. Something really great. Like if I start from the left side, the bunch of the people, it was my conference in Vietnam actually, where I was leading as a Secretary General. And that was Hanoi, Vietnam, in 2018 actually. That was a very good, very good. It was hosted by the British University Vietnam actually, and it was another Model UN conference. And then after that, bit of top, the officials from the United Nations office in Turkey, and UN or chairperson or staff chairperson. Um, and the lady is actually, she was the representative from the UNDP in Turkey. And then about the some Arab side, actually, if I just take it that, I've got a great honor actually, and a great the biggest achievement of my life is like from the Pakistani perspective. Like I'm only Pakistani being honored to achieve actually, and honored to receive this Peace Award, Sheikh Zayed Peace Award in Fourth Sheikh Zayed Peace Conference. It was last year in 2019. And then just look over down sitting with some guest of honors. That was the earlier this year in Istanbul, Future Leaders Conference. Again, I was leading the conference as a secretary general. I was sitting with the different guest of honor from government officials actually, and presenting a token of appreciation to another government officials. And eventually he was invited all the way from Pakistan as well, one of the key personality from our government side. And bit of top, this clip was that I was giving a workshop on the communication skills, because again I'm also a soft skill trainer. So this is actually one of the picture from my workshop while addressing, I mean, a group picture at the end about the communication skills workshops. That's really impressive, by the way. You put everything in that, remembering all my great memories. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
It's very impressive what you do and what type of role model you are. So if you can tell us what inspires you to do what you do every day, and what makes you happy to do that?
I mean, the aim is actually for me is to keep learning, keep polishing myself, and whatever I learn, then it's not like dead end. I don't want to, and I just need to get idle. No, it's to give to the society. It's to keep serving to the society. At the end of the day, I mean, whatever you have learned so far in this world, it is your responsibility to give to the society, especially when it comes to serving the humanity, especially when it comes to serving the mankind and serving the society. So that's really helped me out. That's keep motivating me. And even, of course, at the end of the day, I'm also a human being. I'm not an angel. I'm not a perfect person. But no one is perfect in this world, of course. We all are. We all humans are actually born to make mistakes. So we sometimes get stuck into that and just get confused into that. So such kind of a learning and that motive, like I want to do something for the society, but I need to first build up myself before I can build others. And as an educator of the youth, and we believe that you are the catalyst of the nation building, and having the responsibility, being an educate of the youth or the SDG, I think I should make myself first prepare and get enough knowledge and to spread to the society to help them to serve the society. That really makes me more happy, satisfying, and of course, really be visionary for that as well.
So thank you so much. I have another question for you. How important is like for people to be educated?
I mean, education, in my opinion, is a blessing. I would say that education never faults you. Believe me, it never gets you fall wherever you are. I know it's like the entire world is just like an examination. Okay, you've been keep testing, you've been keep facing the challenges, you face obstacles, you face the hurdles, and you keep testing yourself. But when it comes to the education, it really helps you. Doesn't matter wherever you are, what situation, what problem into that. I mean, I remember when I was used to live in London, earlier days when I shifted from Pakistan to the UK at that time. Um, and being a student, it was a bit of less opportunities for me. I was quite educated, but at the end of the day, I was not be able to find a proper job, and or have end up with different charities. I used to do the charities, knocking the doors to the people and asking for the for charity to help me. But what really helps me is actually the education. I used to speak a very good English. I can easily. I'm not a native. I cannot speak like a native, but it is actually the education that really helps me to speak to conversation into the same particular language that people can understand. So I can easily convince to into the same language. So it is actually the education. Then moving to that different opportunities over there, being appointed later on in different companies and ended up with something very good. And in fact, I've ended up to serve with the British government as a civil enforcement officer. It was actually the education who really
Wow.
helps me really keep helping. Of course, struggling was there, but all those challenges were actually the opportunities. Struggling was actually motivating me, but education is really strengthening me. And similarly, from your platform, whoever is actually listening or actually going to listen to me in future, please, if you will have an opportunity to get the education, please do not miss that chance. It is a key for your success.
I agree. I agree. Education is so important, and that's what makes us, real human beings, is being
Yes.
educated and seeing each other as one, not as separated. And then we also have a question from our viewers, and I will read it to you. What do we need to do in order to establish peaceful dialogue between countries?
Peace, I would personally believe is that. I do agree, like being a student of politics and international relations, diplomacy is the key. But a positive diplomacy, or you can say the positive national interest. And as I said, that if you talk about the sustainable development goals, the last goal says about the global partnership, the 17 goals. In this world, we really need the corporations. We really need a cross-borders dialogue with globalization in a proper manner. I mean, we really facing a huge problem about wars, conflicting, different societies, culture diversity. But at the end of the day, what really helps us is to actually, when you sit, when you come to the table, when you do the dialogues, so it's really helps that. It really helps to understand the different norms. So dialogue and culture diversity, having the umbrella of a globalization and the global partnership, is a key to maintain the peaceful world and to maintain the peace of that. And this is actually the necessity, and I personally believe it's really important now, especially with this pandemic. May God bless the entire world right now. What is going on? Is not everybody is cooperating. No, actually everyone does. They're actually thinking about their nation, as well as they're also thinking about other nations. Check about, I mean, the superpower countries. We have China, USA, Germany, France. They are somehow struggling with their own issues. I mean, with their issues, but they are also trying to helping others as well. To trying to help. This is what we call the globalization and synergies and the global partnership, and that's what the world is actually need right now to having a very peaceful society.
Yes, I agree. And I would like to add something. Establish peaceful dialogue between us people. And this is the goal of our daily broadcast. And invite every single person on earth join us and test that the rule of 6 handshakes really works. So, and now I would like to move on to our second part of the broadcast. How do you envision creative and constructive society, the world where everyone is going to be happy?
Okay, we all humans actually have the same color of a blood, that is red. So why don't we learn from this great creativity of God actually? Is that if we believe a red, then why we are making a discrimination, why we are having a gender equality actually. So this particular great example, what our creator actually create us with the one vision, with one, so that the entire humanity is a one world, a one society. That really helps you to understand and to put forward and promote the same vision to create that creative society. So in my opinion, actually, since we bleed red, actually, and every single human being is actually, we are not aliens, of course, that having a blue blood or something or green, actually. We all are humans and we all bleed actually the red. So take this big example, and it's a big universal example. We should focus to create a one society, a one humanity society that actually breathes for everyone, that actually thinks for everyone. I mean, before even eating, to think about whether their neighbors, whether their countrymates actually have managed to eat the proper way. And that's what the different people actually also think in a positive manner. And that's really helped us to having a peaceful society and a creative. So this is actually my vision and my personal opinion to having a one family, one creative society to think about others. Even to before fulfilling your own rights, you have to think others as well. Then you will be much satisfied.
Yes, it seems that when you take care of others, others will always take care of you, but it has to come from you first. So I agree with you that, we all can be this society, a giving society, not the society that consumes, not the society that takes, but the society that gives and shares and encourages one another and motivates one another. We can all be that, light of positivity that everyone is looking for. And can you tell us, how do we start? Like, one person might say, what can I do? I'm just one person. What can I do? But what would be the answer to his or her question? What do you think one person can do?
Well, first of all, we need to having a one region, because I made a one quotation, which is really helps me, and I learned from that. That's not everything is business. I would say there's something what we call the humanity. We have to think from heart as well. Not every time business, not every time to earn the money and all those things. We have to think about for the people as well. Now, a one person's supposed to first of all has to decide what he or she actually needs to do that, because from that region is actually he or she will be able to touch that region to having a one society to serve the nation or to serve the humanity. So if you have a proper vision, if you have those a proper clear vision that you have already made, like objective and missions and the goals, actually you will definitely be able to achieve that creative society vision, actually to having a one nation, one creative society. So a one person supposed to work first of all, starting from to thinking about their vision, what they actually want to be, to having an options. Like, I mean, in my own life, actually, like I've started to be the duty be pilot, like to serve the our defense forces, air force. Now see, I'm ended up with a trainer right now, and so you will find a plenty of things in your life. But what really makes you, what really maintain you and motivate you is your vision. Is actually a person supposed to having a clear vision what he or she needs to that. That will really helps you to move to the vision of to having a creative society.
Yes, I agree. Thank you so much for sharing your vision as well. And can you tell us, how do you, since you are an educator, since you are a trainer, how do you envision education in a creative society? Should it be accessible? Should it be free? What is your vision for a global educational system?
I personally believe it should be accessible and free for everyone, because at the end of the day, it is your primary right. It is your universal right. I mean, and of course, the SDG, as an educator of SDG, of course, the fourth goal is actually teaches you about the promoting quality education, which gives about different soft skills, different trainings, and different education. So first of all, of course, in my opinion, the entire world's government, up to their capacity and limitations, and all those their policies, of course, and respecting their norms, actually, they should actually having a universal access of this education should be free, at least to the primary or the secondary level. I know the top on to that, like undergraduate is quite expensive and master's is quite expensive, but at least the universal primary education is supposed to be a free hand for everyone. It is a right, actually.
And we have another question from our viewers. Why do you think it's important now to start this dialogue about creative society? And what can we do in order to invite the whole humanity to talk about like this like society we would like to live in?
Okay, I mean, the situation and the circumstances is actually wants that. We have to adopt the current scenario. We don't need a war. No country actually needs a war, right? No country actually needs a conflict at this moment. We actually need a proper peaceful nation, like live in a peaceful manner and let other people to live in a proper, peaceful manner. So such dialogues and such actually the new mindset or such set of school is actually really necessary in order to progress, to promote, and to keep encouraging and urging people to please move in a peaceful manner, because it's the necessity. If you are not adopting, I don't think so that you will be part of that particular society. If you want to be in a peaceful society, if you actually want to serve the humanity, you actually need to adopt that particular circumstances and that particular environment to actually hold that peace and of course the dialogue. And it is actually the need at the moment. I mean, we this world has actually had enough, I would say that. We had two big wars. What is going on is actually, it's itself a big lesson for the entire humanity. That now it's time to having a global partnership. Now it's time to having a global synergies. Just like your 6 handshakes, actually. We need a proper chain. Just like a COVID-19 says itself that there is a chain of different carriers that like a virus looking for that carrier, and then it is spread to the human, to object, or any of the thing. Similarly, we humans, we people from different kind of a world needs those synergies to in order to beat any kind of scenarios, either it's any health issue, any natural disaster whatsoever, or any kind of a problem. If we are a one nation, if we are one world, definitely will be easily beat any kind of issue in this world. And it's start from the peace.
Yes, and I agree with you. And it feels like people really have this ability to have like peaceful dialogue between each other, between like personally and between the countries, that we don't need all these conflicts. We can avoid all these conflicts and wars between us. Yep.
Yes, that's important.
Yes, I agree. I agree. When people talk to each other in open communication, and when we don't put this responsibility on someone else that might not have our interest in it, then we can actually all win. And we, one more war is like too much to have. And I'm sure no one is, enjoying, anything about what war has to bring. But peace, happiness, kindness, support, this is what humanity is all about. And we just need to bring it back and talk about it. Because if we don't talk about it, it's like it doesn't exist. But when we do have the conversation like we're having today, this opens up so many opportunities. And then, yes. And then, so right now, before I'll ask you about the person that you would like to meet and talk to you about Creative Society, did you want to wish something for our viewers, or did you have another topic that we forgot to talk about?
Again, I'm gonna start with like, we should have to actually focus on our vision, a vision that could help you in your life, could actually change those challenges this world is actually facing, and change into an opportunity. So whatever is your career, whatever you need to do in your world, like whatever is your vision, actually just do with your heart. I mean, just focus on that, and to keep actually have options in your hand. Like, go for it if you fall down into that. So you should have enough thing to wake up, to get up, and to keep progressing. Not let the opportunities out from your hands, because you don't know one opportunity can take you any of the world. Like I had that one opportunity that I used to do in my university earlier. That opportunity has took me over here. It was really, really a long shot, 10 years. It was a huge long shot, had the ups and downs. Really, supports of a family was very important. And today, I must say, like, I think I'm satisfied what I'm doing, and I keep serving the society and sharing my knowledge, and keep urging them to do the best what they can do. So.
Wow, this is so great. Thank you for summary and letting everybody know just to take that opportunities, because you really don't know where it's going to lead you. But if you don't take it, it's not going to, continue the spread of positivity. So could you please tell us the one person that you would like to meet and talk to about Creative Society, so we can have her or him on the next show? And we're actually going to use the rule of 6 handshakes to find him or her. And the rule of 6 handshakes, if you don't know what it is, it actually means that we are all connected through 5 or less social connections. And please do use 2 hashtags so we can track this video to that person. And the first hashtag is hashtag ALLATRAunites, and the second one is hashtag Creative Society. So, Fawad, could you please tell us the person you would like to meet and why?
I actually want to meet with Les Brown because on numerous occasions, I really, really learned from his motivational speeches. In fact, when I said that I used to do the charity, I was depressed. I was like, being a very educated person, what I'm doing ended up like I was spending a lot of time on my studies, spending a lot of money. But again, what I'm ending up with that I used to hear his motivation speeches and really helps me to fight those days and those challenges which he actually does face in his life. I actually really need to meet with him and say him thank you that you are actually serving the great society, helping others. And that's what I would say, like every single person who actually want to be the motivational speaker, because I believe a motivational speaker itself, until unless he or she is actually not faces circumstances in their life, is you can't be, in my opinion, you can't be the motivational speaker until unless you faces those struggles, those hurdles, which you actually managed to conquer, and those opportunities that came across. And that's really ended up with me, the same thing. And yes, I actually want to meet with Les Brown, and I wish that I will, in your session, upcoming session, I will be, of course, meeting and talking with him. Really.
Oh, wow, that's so awesome. So I'll just ask our audience to help us find Les Brown. Yes. And we can use the same concept of, let's learn from all the mistakes that we have made as a society, and then let's become motivational leaders for each other. And we know what's not working, so let's find out what's working, and let's dream a little bit bigger with the Creative Society. And if you would like to be on our next show, please email us or contact us, and you will see our contact information on the screen soon. And we're looking forward to communicating, to establish this open communication with the whole world, so we can all come together and we can all dream a little bigger, and we can all create a creative and constructive society that every single person can enjoy, live in, and be happy. So Fawad, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much to our viewers. Till next time. See you guys later.
Thank you very much, Olga. Thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you. Goodbye.